Hello and welcome to Daily Dose Radio, a 5-minute-a-day podcast studying the Psalms verse by verse, recorded here in the dining room of the Bible Bistro, located in Sharonville, Ohio. Hey there, friend. Welcome back to Daily Dose Radio here in the Bible Bistro. Well, today we're going to look at verse 4 in Psalm 127. Again, this is a psalm in the group of psalms called the Ascent Psalms. And this is the hymn book of the Jews as they travel up to Jerusalem. So we're going up to Jerusalem. And we had our destination mentioned there in verse 1. But this psalm is so much more than just that, isn't it? It's telling us about the church again. Just like Psalm 126 did, so again here, the Lord's building the house. The Lord tells us it's vain for us to try to do the work unless the Lord's in it. And so the Lord's the one who gives sons. He blesses us with a goodly portion. The fruit of the womb is His reward. And that's true for families. It's also true for the church. He's the one that gives the children. And then today, those children are compared to arrows. Notice verse 4. As arrows are in the hand of a mighty man, so are children of the youth. I have in my translation, like arrows in the hand of a mighty man, so are the sons of one's youth. Now, these arrows, some of the ancient church considered these arrows to be the preachers, the evangelists of the word in the early church. Let me read to you a portion here from John Mason Neal's commentary, and he quotes Cardinal Hugo, who sums up the qualities of the holy preachers. And he says that they are shapely because they're humble, slender for they are poor, straight in their charity, smooth in equity, long as long-suffering, feathered with divers virtues, headed with the steel of firm patience, sharp in keenness of intellect, piercing in their zeal for righteousness, swift in their readiness of obedience, yet motionless of themselves, and unless shot forth by Him in whose hands they are, when they go straight and surely to the mark. So I love that, because these arrows in the hand of a mighty man, well, who's the mighty man? It's not the father of a family necessarily, but it is the Lord, because He's the one that gives the children. And in His hand, those children are just like what Cardinal Hugo said. They're straight, and they're slender, and they're gifted, and they're sharp, and they go straight to the mark. These are men of obedience. Yeah, and so, like the arrows in the hand of a mighty man, and also Neil has there translated that mighty man as giant. Arrows in the hand of a giant. So are the sons of one's youth. And these sons are the ones who are taught of the church. The church has a responsibility to teach its children the things of the Lord. And so the sons, being taught of the church, go forth from the church, and what do? They preach, they teach, and they establish schools for the furtherance of the doctrine of the church, so that men in the future might be able to stand in the gate, and we'll talk about the gate tomorrow, stand in that gate and defend the faith against those who would oppose it. This is the work of the church. And so the Lord gives the children, the work of the church is to take those children and to train them up so that they might be ready for everything that's going to come against them and against the faith, like arrows in the hand of a giant. So are the sons of one's youth, that is, the sons of the church, the children of the church. As they are born again, we raise them up to do gospel ministry. Amen. Well, I hope that you'll join me again tomorrow. We're going to look at verse 5, and we'll have our theme word tomorrow, the word blessed, at least the theme for the second half here. And it's been a blessing, hasn't it? The Lord giving, the Lord using, and now we'll see some more about that tomorrow in verse 5. So I hope that you can join me then here on Daily Dose Radio. Thanks for listening to Daily Dose Radio. For more fresh and delicious Bible studies, podcasts, books, and more, check out the Bible Bistro online and on YouTube. Join me again next time for Daily Dose Radio.